Live from the Windy C Radio studio in the shops at Iverson. This is the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WindyCRadio.com, the Windy C Radio app, Facebook Live and YouTube Live on the Windy C Radio pages, and of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, everybody in between. Welcome to another very special edition of Bars. Right here. It's your man AJ Throwback in the building.
TT.
TT. Good morning.
Get so up. Can somebody adjust this mic? That about to hurt.
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Y'all know we had to have our car talk about charging.
Yes.
I kind of cheated on the charging and talk about Camaros.
Cheated on your baby.
I want to get you. Give me like 3 years. That's all I need. Probably less than that.
Yeah. Well, welcome everybody. Appreciate y'all tuning in right here on WinDCRadio.com, the WinDC Radio app. Facebook Live. Shout out to everybody who is currently on Facebook Live. I see Neen. Yeah, we were trying to get the sound right and everything, so appreciate you letting us know we needed to get it right. So shout out Neen, representing the ladies of Let's Be Clear. Neen and Becky, right here on WinDCRadio.com. Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. The fellas were on last night. Shout out to the fellas of Mike's Corner. They were on last night. Had a really good discussion. Yeah, really interesting discussion. Y'all had to tune into that replay. Check that out. But yeah, the ladies will be on next Tuesday right here on WinDCRadio.com next Tuesday, 6 to 8 p.m. So shout out. Let's Be Clear. Shout out my main man Calvin Williams, watching right now. Ready and tuned in. Lush Vibes Radio. He's tuned in every week, but he definitely for one of our special guests that we have today. We have Miss Melanie Oates, who will be coming in shortly. She'll be talking about her organization Here for a Reason, Inc., and also her blog, Twin Mom Mel. So y'all definitely want to stay tuned for that. That's going to be at 11:15. And then at 12 o'clock, we have my brother, fellow brother of sound, Pat P. Going to be talking about his new album, Revolution and Legacy, Volume 2, The Legacy, and as well as other things. So definitely excited for today's lineup. See my main man Narcissist, appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Yes. We got to talk about that production, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, Neen, I got you. Like, I'm still tightening up everything for the album, so I got you. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be getting an email soon. You know what I'm saying? In the next month. So we just trying to get it right, get it tight. But anyway, appreciate everybody that's tuned in. I think we also on. Let me see. I think we on YouTube Live too. I want to make sure we, get our YouTube Live audience in here, because we always shout out the Facebook Live folks, but we got to shout out all the folks. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, gotta keep a watch on both fronts. Anyway, let me stop talking. Let's get to the music. This is Latasia Leak with Divine Love. He on the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. This is Bars.
Next year gonna be the best year.
You make me feel free. You gave your life sacrifice. So I give you praise all day and night for life. Your mercy and grace. You give this life my sin. Unconditional.
urban contemporary indie artist? Then this is your platform. Send us clean versions of your music to balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Body, get a body bag. Body, get a body bag. Body, get a body bag. Body. If you don't know, now you know. Better give it up. I try to switch your flow, 'cause the shit you do, it ain't hot no more. I got the remedy, I'm killing shit on any beat. Body bag, 'cause I body that. Get a body bag, 'cause I body that. Man, these songs old, don't know how to rap. Got my bodies up, get a body bag.
I ain't new to this trap shit. OG, I'm a vet. Dawn of the rap game, that's royalty and respect. The name is Hall of Fame, legendary in the flesh. Never gave up on rap, won't settle for less. I'm blessed with these bars, 'cause I write with God's hand. Rappers get successful, say it's part of God's plan. Always had a plan to make it, plot on it and take it. Knocking on that door, if they don't answer, I'ma break it. Created my own business, self-made, that's boss. It's better being independent, no middleman cut costs. No loss on investments, 'cause I'm self-invested. We flip songs and double all that cash that's projected. Obsessive writing rhymes, all that's on my mind. Gotta shine, only thing that matters is these rap lines. Intelligent in my element, so talented, I'm sick. America's most wanted, young black and I'm rich.
If you don't know, now you know. Better give it up. I try to switch your flows, 'cause the shit you do, it ain't hot no more. I got the remedy, I'm killing shit on any beat. Body bag, 'cause I body that. Get a body bag, 'cause I body that. Man, these songs old, don't know how to rap. Got my bodies up, get a body bag.
I question everything, guess you don't understand me. You a hit from a deal, I'm a hit from a Grammy. They better not jay me, sit me up front, just to not win you. When you feel like number one, might turn to mister, got something for your jaw. Me and my man start busting 440s, dog. For the record, been nice since CDs and cassettes, and the eyes don't lie. What you see is what you get. If you bleeding, it's to death. I can reach you in a sec. So any issues you had with Hush, we meeting on your steps. You pull a no-show, knock your building down. What a drop. They had to use caution, yellow tape around your block. In my street broom and sweet spoons. Don't pack heat, I keep June. My rap sheet is cuckoo, and I stack chips by each moon. Maybe too soon, but I must say, your goals are a hobby. While I rap for real, Hush soon explode like Tekashi.
If you don't know, now you know. Better give it up. I try to switch your flows, 'cause the shit you do, it ain't hot no more. I got the remedy, I'm killing shit on any beat. Body bag, 'cause I body that. Get a body bag, 'cause I body that. Man, these songs old, don't know how to rap. Got my bodies up, get a body bag.
Wanna get down with the bars revolution? We're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Bars On Air.
Yeah, venomous, federal, you know. Sometimes I be on the love you. Just let me talk to you for a second. Listen. Yeah. We used to say it's us against the world. Fell in love way before I was your girl. Combos on the Skype, talking late night. Kiss you like I mean it when we out on date night. You my little vixen, what you like to say. Kinda shy till I'm showing off that negligee. I cried for you every time you had to walk away. I tried harder even when you said you couldn't stay. Close my eyes, now we laying on the beach. Lotion on my thighs, hands on my peach. I'm the student, man, I love it when you teach. Even when I travel, I ain't never out of reach. Kept it classy, but my mind in the gutter. Matching furs, matching kicks in the summer. Love it when you tell me that no one can come above her. A diamond in the rough when she shine like no other, yeah.
Baby, where you wanna go? Tell me. Anywhere, just let me know. We'll go far away from here. We'll make everything everything alright. Baby, where you wanna go? Tell me. Anywhere, just let me know. We'll go far away from here. Far away. We'll make everything alright.
You always used to say I was your goddess. I don't share much, but I kept it honest. Kept me smooth in the water, so I'm polished. I ain't never stressed, cause you kept me well acknowledged. Was thicker than the thieves in the night. More than just your hand, played your left and your right. Living like a movie where we're flying through the night. Fresh out the gate, chicks is rude out of spite. And I ain't even noticing the bras. I'm snapping passports, collecting my awards. Busy trying to make my ends and open doors. Texting from my show when I'm out of all these tours. I never seem to think that it would end. Signals getting crossed, now he mad at me again. No matter what, I just hope you comprehend. Daydreaming on this flight, but said I was home again. Come on.
Baby, where you wanna go? Tell me. Anywhere, just let me know. We'll go far away from here. We'll make everything alright. Baby, where you wanna go? Tell me. Anywhere, just let me know. We'll go far away from here. We'll make everything alright.
Yeah. Venomous. Lil G.
Tell me what you
Yes.
want, babe.
You know.
Anyway, just let me know.
Sometimes it's like that.
Far away.
Far away.
Far away from here. We'll make everything
Talk to
alright. Yeah.
Federal.
Welcome back to the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah. That was Venomous with Lyric G, Far Away. Before that, we had Quandon featuring Lady Vixen and Hush with Body Bags. And starting off the set, we had Latasia Leak with Divine Love. Shout out to my Fresh Tribe sister right there. Shout out to Miss Razzle Dazzle. I see you. As soon as I pulled it up, Team Dazzle, Daddy here. You know what I'm saying? Salute Team Bars, always. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Two of my biggest supporters right there. And let me make sure there's. I don't know why this thing acts so dumb. Yeah, nobody seems to be chiming in on YouTube Live, but we gonna watch out for y'all. Those of y'all who are watching, you can watch YouTube Live, Facebook Live, FaceTube. It's like a hybrid. It ain't even out yet. You know what I'm saying? And then of course on the WinDC Radio app and online, WinDCRadio.com. So tell a friend. You about to get it started. Let's go.
Whether they're artists, athletes, entrepreneurs, politicians, activists, or simply folks you need to know, we've got the line to the movers and shakers of DC, Maryland, Virginia, and beyond. This is 15 minutes of game on the Balancing Act Radio Show.
And yes, we are here with our first guest for today, Miss Melanie Oates, here for a reason, Inc.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How you going?
I'm doing wonderful. Had a little issue on the way here, huh?
I mean, you gotta pay your respect. Funeral procession,
Yeah.
Pay your respect.
Yeah, can't quite
here.
can't quite buck the system on that one, huh? and you weren't one of those victims of those people getting stopped today. It's
Not
a lot.
at all.
The cops they try and get their quota today, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful, please. You know what I'm saying? So
Ticket.
Right. So welcome to Bars.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
it's a
you.
pleasure to have you here. Of course, we gotta first and foremost shout out ADST Media.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, for making this happen. My man Dre,
Definitely.
You know? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Stay sending awesome people here, you know what I'm saying? And of course present company included, you know. So we're gonna start off according to TT, I pull cards. So I guess
you
this
do though. You TLC creeping on. You the FBI over here.
I do my due diligence. That's what it is.
Let me be like Roman Pierce on Fast First. Can I check my email?
Look, as Dre would call it, I do my deep dives. That's what it is. You know, I do my research.
You'll
so.
sit there and be like, yeah. Then he'll be like, so. And he'll be like, what? Hold up. How you know that?
Let me get my notepad out.
Right. So.
FBI over here. Check my email.
So I want to start off with a quote from you. That was on a post that you put on your blog, Twin Mom Mail. And you said, because I want to make sure I get it verbatim.
Totally.
So, of course. Look, this is what I do. So it's from your post, Turning Lemons into Lemonade. And so you said, as a first-time mom, when I found out both of my twins with special needs, I was nervous, scared, and unsure of myself because I didn't know if I could handle it. I could have let the news and the unexpected way of life tear me down, but I have managed, giving thanks to God, to remain positive. I look at it this way. My twins are here for a reason. I've gained an astronomical amount of patience and have learned so much about the medical world and myself because of them. So, I think that quote really sets up like just your mindset with everything. So, talk about your experience, like raising Julius and is it Janelle?
Yes.
Julius and Janelle. Like
Yeah.
how has that experience been in terms of like dealing with all of the ins and outs of like trying to make sure that they have all the proper care and you know just the patience it really takes to deal not only with raising them but everything that's surrounding them.
It number one has been a blessing, right? I'll start with the positive.
Yes.
But unfortunately, with not just one but two children that have a special need, one being autism, which is very common, right? People have heard of that. But when you have a child who has a very rare condition where it doesn't even have a name, it's challenging try to navigate through the system.
Right.
Being a first-time mom, I never had children before. I never changed diapers before I had my twins.
Yeah.
So you get the joy and excitement of, yay, you know, I'm pregnant, I have twins. But then you're faced with the reality of, oh my gosh, I don't know anything about what my children have, right?
Right.
It's one thing to have a newborn and having to adjust your life, but having a newborn and then also having to adjust your life to the medical terminology, the medical world. Where do I go? What does this mean? What does that medication mean, right? It's a lot of due diligence that I had to do. And the patience came in because, again, being a first-time mom, you don't know a lot, right? And you have family, you have support, but they don't know either, right? Because my children in my immediate family were the first ones that had any type of condition. So it's kind of like navigating through parenthood alone. They, you know, I have the support; they're there for me, but for them to understand, I have to explain to them what my children have. You know, it's not like, hey, Melanie, such and such had this. Why don't you try that? There wasn't any of that. Right. So the patient came in on that aspect of just navigating things through myself and then having to explain to people that sometimes the condition, like my daughter, it's not curable. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Janelle's the one that doesn't even really have a name to it.
Right.
Okay. So what I was really curious about that particular condition. So what are like the symptoms of that particular condition, or like what are the, I guess, how does it manifest itself versus say like autism? Because I think a lot of people, and even autism, a lot of people may or may not know as much about autism as probably they should, or they could know about it. So I guess just for people who may not be as familiar with either one, explain a little bit for our listening audience.
Definitely. So with my daughter, although it doesn't have a name, a common name, so it's a genetic disorder. Some genetic disorders people have heard of may have been Down syndrome, right? People have heard of Down syndrome. But my daughter's genetic disorder is a pathogenic terminal deletion on chromosome 7. Nobody's gonna know what that means,
Right.
Not unless you're talking to somebody that has studied genetics, right? But walking in the mall, talking to y'all don't really know. So, with her, she's very developmentally delayed. Okay. Having her twin brother there has been helpful. Okay. Although he has autism, it's helpful to know, again, being a first-time mom, seeing a comparison, what he's doing versus what she's doing, right? So I have the two to compare. Yeah. But with her, they're 7 years old right now. She's pretty much like a 9-month-old baby. Wow. So she's nonverbal, right? She doesn't walk. She's G-tube fed, meaning she can't eat anything by mouth. She has to be fed through her stomach. Wow. She has epilepsy, which are seizures. Yeah. She has forms of cerebral palsy because of her mobility. She's a very happy baby, but she's fully dependent on an adult. Right. So those are the symptoms, if you will, that she has.
Okay. So is it, since you said it was incurable, will it be that way for her for the rest of her life, or is it something that can improve over time?
So the genetic disorder will be there for forever, because when you think about genes, everyone has DNA, right? You have billions of cells, right? When she was being, I guess, formed, right, in my womb, her one original cell was missing a portion of the chromosome. So for babies, when you develop, you're basically replicating and duplicating cells. So that original cell that didn't have everything was the one that was duplicating over and over again. Wow. So the reason why it's not curable is because you cannot go into your billions and billions of cells and put in what's missing. As far as, will she always not be able to walk? Absolutely not. We're working with physical therapy to try to get her to walk. Okay. So, do you get what I'm saying? Like, the condition will always be there, but her symptoms, if you will, can change with the help of therapy.
Got you. And with Julius, how far along the autism spectrum is he?
So Julius is very, I like to say, high functioning. Okay. A lot of individuals have their own kind of terminology when it comes to autism. For me, he is high functioning, right? Okay. So he's on the autism spectrum, but his symptoms are more so along the communication side. Gotcha. So there's times where he may not be able to elaborate as well as another child. Right. However, when it comes to his memory, he is phenomenal. Like, he's already been in a spelling bee, and he didn't win, but because of his memory, he knew exactly how to spell certain words. And he was facing up against 14-year-olds, and he got 6th place. Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing. And he was 6 at the time when he was in the spelling bee. So, although he has the autism, he's very high functioning. Yeah. And
I've heard like a lot of instances with people who have kids who have autism. I want to say it's similar with Toni Braxton's son. Like her son is, even though he has autism, he's pretty high functioning as well. And my mom, she's in special education. And she, a lot of times, like, she'll get kids who are autistic, but sometimes she'll get ones that are high functioning, some who are really far along the spectrum. So like, it's one of those things where it can affect kids, but it just depends on, I guess, how severe it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's good to hear that Julius, like, even though he has it, it's not something that hinders him, like, dramatically. Right. So, and that's actually a good segue to something that I had a question about in terms of education, specifically with Julius. Like, how has that experience been in terms of, like, him being in school and being around other kids and things of that nature?
It's actually been really good. So we used to live in we used to live in Florida. I'm originally from Maryland, but I left Maryland to go to college. Okay. And I stayed in. No. Bethune-Cookman. We are FAMU's like ultimate rival. You gotta go. I can only talk to AJ now. I'm not a fan of FAMU. There is more than one school. There's more than one HBCU in Florida than FAMU.
Listen, FAMU is really popular. Like,
come on now. Oh, no. Well, let me just say, Bethune-Cookman, we have our Netflix series. Where's FAMU's? Thank you. Marching Orders, go look it up on Netflix.
I'm not even a fan.
You're not even a fan. You talk. But anyway, okay. So I went to Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, Florida. The great Bethune-Cookman University. In Daytona. But so I was there for 9 years, right? So the twins were born there, but I moved back home to Maryland when, unfortunately, things didn't work out with their dad. Our marriage dissolved.
Okay.
But the education is where they pretty much started in Maryland, starting with pre-kindergarten. Okay. It's been phenomenal. I was scared at first because Maryland is very big with inclusion. Mm-hmm. So even if you have a disorder, autism, or even as extreme as my daughter, they want to include you no matter what. Right. Scary for me, but for the other students and for the teachers, it's great because other students, one, can see, oh, this child, Julius, has autism, but he's just like me, right? Yeah. And then when it comes to Julius' specific learning capabilities, although he has a communication problem, he understands and remembers things, like I said, pretty well. Yeah. So there has been some challenges with when he's in the classroom if they're reading a book, right? Mm-hmm. And they say, okay, Julius, who was in the book? What did you learn? Yada, yada. It may take him a little while. However, if they're doing their repetitive daily schedules, you know how schools have little schedules and stuff? Yeah. He's going to tell you, he knows everything. He knows every classmate. He knows where they sit. He knows all the teachers. Wow. So it's been really, really good. Mm-hmm. He's even in extracurricular activities now, karate, which is really great. It's helping his self-esteem. He started slap boxing now. What? Like, does he win? But he's been doing really good. Yeah.
That's okay. My little brother is. He got autism too. He's only 4, but comprehends. His communication is getting better. Yeah, it's getting better. He talks Arabic.
Wow.
Wow. To sit there and try to search the language.
Arabic?
Like, that was his first language, Arabic, and then came along English.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, at least I know you won't pass foreign language.
right. Like, that's the first language you learn, man. That's awesome.
Everybody talking about, y'all got Arabic in your family? No. I don't know where
I was just about to ask. I'm like, where'd that come from?
Right. But he has autism too.
Yeah.
And as far as that, it's like he used to go with KIP.
Okay, I've heard of that.
So they're really good. So he had I think an aide or somebody in the class that helped him. Yep. But he's gotten good communication wise. He got a good memory too, but communication wise, he got times where he's like different. It's like he don't know how to talk when he's mad, so he yells and screams. That's how he expresses his feelings to you. He'll yell and scream at you. And you'll probably be like, why are you yelling? But he's expressing that he's mad or upset instead of saying it. Well, if he says, he's going to say Arabic. And then you send in the dictionary like,
I can't get past that.
No Arabic in my family, guys. I really don't.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you chimed in on that because like TT and I have had conversations about her younger brother, you know, and I that's why it was really good that like she was here when you were going to be here, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that this is a subject that affects a lot of different people in their families, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, before we get into your organization here for a reason, some of the issues that you had in terms of medical denials, what were some specific instances where you were trying to get certain care for Julius and Janelle, and you were denied certain things?
It's been a lot. The most important one was Janelle's nursing care. Okay. Right? In-home nursing care. So Janelle, like I mentioned, she's fully dependent on an adult. I work, right? Mm-hmm. So when you have a child like Janelle, it's very hard to balance working and taking care of her, right? Let alone being a single parent, because the marriage dissolved. It's just me, right? So her nursing care was denied because, unfortunately, when I started working in Maryland, my income got too high. All of her benefits were cut short. Yeah. They, meaning the state, because I went to my congressman's office, because that's what they're there for, to help you, right?
Right. Supposed to be.
They let me know, oh, I'm sorry, you have private insurance at your job. Use your private insurance. Yeah. My private insurance at my job does not have private duty nursing. So now it's like tug of war, right? The state is saying one thing. Your private insurance is saying another thing. You're stuck in the middle trying to figure out what to do. it still was denied because with the timing of everything, if she doesn't have the right resources under her, she's not going to be able to get what she needs.
Right.
So being denied nursing care was one thing that was a huge struggle. We have it now, which I can share about, but being denied nursing care for 2 years was a huge struggle, and I had to take a huge sacrifice to get her what she needed, but she has it now. Other things that she needs is like, they call it an activity chair, right? It's basically like just a chair at home.
Okay.
Kind of like how we're sitting in these chairs.
Yeah.
But it's meant for someone who can't sit up on their own.
Got
So it's
you.
needed to be placed in the house. But unfortunately, her insurance didn't think it was necessary because they have an exclusion of medically necessary items, which doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
feel like the insurance world is, I don't get it.
It's very cutthroat. I mean, just for somebody who doesn't have like a severe condition, like there's so many things that they'll try to get out of. Though you pay all this money every single month, every 2 weeks, really. You know what I'm saying? To have this insurance, but then they'll say, "Oh, that's not medically necessary."
Or they don't want to cover it.
Right, or they don't,
Exactly.
and that's really what it comes down to. They don't want to cover it.
Exactly.
Like they just want to take your money. But when you really need something, whether it's for you, whether it's for your family, they'll find a loophole to get out of it. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to ask that question, because it's like dealing with the red tape with medical insurance companies. I'm sure that's a huge amount of the reason for the creation of Here for a Reason. You know what I'm saying? So talk about creating the organization and the importance in terms of helping other special, families who have special needs children or, special needs members of their families. Like what was the thought behind it, especially like the name of it, which was kind of laid out from the outset.
Right. Really, the reasoning behind creating it was because of what I dealt with, right? So the organization, Here for a Reason, was created. I don't want to keep saying the word reason, but it was created for a reason.
Right.
Because you have not just me, but a lot of families that are getting slapped in the hand because they work, right? Or they've gone to college, may have been FAMU, but they've gone to other schools, right? Like me. But they've worked hard to get their degrees, and then they're told, I'm sorry, you make too much money.
Yeah.
Or even worse, yes, your child has a condition, but it's not extreme enough, right?
Why do it matter how much money you're making?
I
don't understand that.
That's what everybody wants to know.
Right.
And they have the rules in place. Now I'm like an expert. Like, talk about the red tape. Oh, I've gotten through it.
Yeah.
Right? We're good now.
Yeah.
And people can reach out to me to find out what I did, and I can talk about it more. But there's so many loopholes, and I won't say loopholes, but there's pieces that you can grab what you need, but you have to know how to grab it. You got to know who to talk to, what to say, when to do it, the timing. Like, there's so many things that matters to get what you need, and you have a lot of people that get overwhelmed. Right. Oh my gosh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta talk to there, I gotta that, I gotta write this, I gotta write that. They don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But once you navigate through it and you're on the other side, you're good.
Right.
But for people that don't want to do it, they're overwhelmed. That's why we have the organization, right? Here for a reason. So everything that I've gone through was pretty much the backbone of why we chose the name, why the programs we have are in place, even the individuals who are on my board. It's not just me. It's 4 other people. They all touch special needs, whether they're a pediatric nurse or they have their own family member who has a special need. So they understand firsthand as well.
Right.
But you have so many people, like what you were asking, why does it matter that you make so much money? For people that don't know what to do, they can reach out to us. We've paid somebody's rent before. We give gas cards, because a lot of times when you're going to appointments, like for me, I live in Waldorf. For other listeners, if you're in a rural area, right, when you need to go to a specialist, you're probably traveling at least 30 minutes to a more metro area where they have the facility. That's gas, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have buses in your area, you don't want to take a bus, you have a car, but you got to pay for gas.
Right.
So we give $40 gas cards to help alleviate. Even financial relief, we can pay for not just what people assume are the necessities like water, electric, but when you have a child, who has autism, they may need Netflix or YouTube. In order to watch that, you got to have internet.
Yeah.
So we'll pay for internet bills because we know that there's so many other pieces that are missed, and we want to help people presently. That was another big piece for the organization. You have other large organizations, I won't say names, but they talk about research. They only want to do research, right? Research is great, but what about the now? What about the person that has to pay $500 for their medicine and they can't make their rent? It's either pay the rent or pay the medicine, right? So that's the reasoning behind why I created the organization, why I chose the name, because we're here for a reason. And whether you're officially, whether you're impacted by it, living your life, or it's you, or you said your brother has it. Whatever the case may be, you're here for a reason. If it's just listening to what we do, if you're donating, if you are just sharing the word, you are still here for a reason, because now you understand more and you can pass information along.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah. What's one or two of the most memorable moments of helping somebody out through Here for a Reason?
I will definitely say one of the most memorable moments was when we paid the rent for an individual who lives in Texas.
Wow.
Right? Touching on some of the other organizations who require you to be under 18, right? They have these age restrictions and all that. We don't have any age restriction, no region restriction, no condition restriction. As long as you meet the criteria of what we put in place, which is very minimal, because you have other organizations where you got to do so much to get the help and you get overwhelmed. So it was phenomenal knowing that we helped someone who was in their 40s, who had a condition, who lived in Texas, right? And they didn't have to worry about their rent for a month. That was one of the most memorable items, right?
Yeah.
Also, when we had our first event, right? This one wasn't more so helping, but it was seeing the community support. We had an event in Waldorf, and a lot of people who attended, they weren't affected by special needs, but seeing the support and seeing just the outpour of encouragement from the community, knowing that there's an organization in place like us, and then passing the word along, that was a very, very, very great day for us, because we knew that when we left that event, there was about 150 people that now knew about us, that's sharing to their family and their friends and their employers about what we do.
Yeah, and that's definitely important in terms of being able to make that type of an impact, and then that word getting out.
Right.
Because I know that there are a lot of people with children who suffer from autism, who suffer from other different special needs, because that's the thing. It's so many different types of, like you said, genetic disorders and just disorders, period, that people have to deal with their children, and they don't have that support.
Exactly.
So that's why organizations like Here for a Reason are so necessary to our community, and just to people who go through it, period. But specifically, I'm always going to kind of think in the narrative of the Black community, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when it comes to situations like these,
It's mostly the Black community.
right, you know what I'm saying? We're the ones who struggle the most.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So and just seeing the people who are, part of your team, that is largely Black women. You know what I'm saying? That was a beautiful thing for me to see, that you have these women who are, whether they're mothers or whether they're just people who are involved in the field somehow, that these are women who are taking up the mantle and fighting that good fight.
Exactly.
So I definitely appreciate what you and your team are doing.
Thank you. And it's very important that we made sure we still make our presence known, but to let people know, especially our culture, because yes, we're the ones who struggle a lot, but we have individuals who are afraid to speak up about it. Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of taboo for some people. One of the individuals on my board, her nationality she's from the Bahamas, right?
Okay.
So back in her home country, having a child like hers is taboo.
Yeah.
You don't go out, you don't talk about it, you don't share anything. But you gotta talk about it to get the help.
Yes,
so when individuals see the persons and the people behind here for a reason, like what you were saying, it's kind of heartfelt in a way, and it's eye-opening, so people know, yes, there's a nonprofit, yes, we do this, but these are the people behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. So I wanted to also ask you about your blog, Twin Mom Mel. And so one, what made you want to start a blog? And two, I know for me as a former blogger and just a writer by nature, writing is always therapeutic for me, especially when it comes to talking about things that are important to me. And so how was that experience of having the blog for you in terms of specifically writing about a lot of the issues that you dealt with getting care and just, being a single mother of Julius and Janelle?
It was extremely important for me because I wanted to share what I go through. Right? There's so many things that people want to know, right? They're afraid to ask. They know I have a daughter with a disability, but they kind of want to like, what does that mean? What does she do? Yeah. I'm not afraid to share it, but I can't call everybody and talk to them all the time, So sharing it in a blog is one, kind of therapeutic for me because I can get information out and talk about what I've dealt with. And then I can also allow people to see more about what I do and what I go through. In a positive way. Some people don't like to read, so I have a vlog too. YouTube and all that. Got to get more active on there. But there's things that I like to do, even sometimes making situations comical. A lot of times, especially my grandma and other people, they don't understand why my daughter's condition cannot be cured, right? So I make it comical, but it's also informative too. Because some people, they think, oh, if you got a smoking problem, just put a patch on your arm and you'll be good. Why can't you just put a patch and that just injects some stuff for your daughter? You can't do that.
Exactly.
So rather than just putting down in words with the blog, which is great, making little videos and little skits and stuff. Everybody doing that on Instagram. That's kind of an outlet and therapeutic for me. Just to share.
That's good. Because I think a lot of times when things are in writing, and people can relate to it, because having the organization and the blog is really powerful because it's like one kind of supports the other, and I think a lot of times like when people, they can see the personal experience and that you make it personal, people can connect with it more and they can relate to it more and they can say, well, wow, like I go through similar, or wow, I would have never thought that that's what it took to like take care of two children, like that have two totally different conditions. You know what I'm saying? Like just knowing all of the things that you endure, but knowing also like the positive attitude that you have. I think that's more than anything. I think that's encouraging for a lot of people. Like just reading a few of your blog posts, I was like, wow, like if I were going through it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I were reading this blog, like I would feel like, okay, if she can do it, then I can definitely do it.
Yep. That's the response I always get. And that, again, is helpful for me, too. Because I go through it every day, and people ask me, how do you do it? A lot of times, I don't know. It's like it's robotic. That's just
something that you used to.
Right, exactly. So hearing feedback and the encouragement and the support, that's helpful for me. Because on days when it is a struggle and I'm just really down, I think about, when AJ read the blog, he was like, well, if I could do it, he can do it, So I think about the supporters and the encouragement. So that's another reason why I have the blog, just to kind of twofold. Y'all are reading it and helping me. I'm writing it and helping y'all. So it's a togetherness thing, right?
Yeah. That's the beauty of having a platform. You know what I'm saying? Like that platform, it, as much as it helps other people, it helps you to stay encouraged, to keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So how, like, is there a way that people can support Here for a Reason in terms of like financial support or any other ways of, helping your organization to be able to provide the resources that y'all are able to provide?
Yes, absolutely. So not only do we have our website, hereforareason.org, where you can go on there and donate, we also have an apparel line.
Okay.
HFAR apparel. HFAR stands for Here for a Reason.
Yes.
So this shirt here, this is one of the many.
Show it.
Right there, right? So all of the proceeds, everything that you buy from our apparel line goes directly back to the organization.
Awesome.
So we have that, again, the donation with PayPal, it's all linked through there. We are also an affiliated nonprofit with Facebook and Instagram. So if you have a birthday and you want to, sometimes Facebook will pop up and say, make your birthday, donate to something. You can choose us, right? So there's several ways. And I made sure, not saying, you got to be super technical, but since I do so much with the organization, not just running it, but also the back piece with the finance part, I know there's several avenues, and social media is extremely helpful for nonprofits. So like I was mentioning with the birthdays and donation buttons and all that on Facebook, we have several different ways.
Yeah. I did want to make sure I read one comment that we had from somebody watching on Facebook Live. Brooke Young in Houston. She says, I used to transport a young autistic man alone, and I wasn't equipped for his unique need, but both sides of his family couldn't afford a nurse to care for him between his various family visits. It's a shame.
It is. Yeah, definitely. And Brooke, if you still are in contact with that family, they definitely can reach out to us, because I don't know if you were on when I was talking about it. I've been able to get my family, my daughter specifically, we went from zero care, struggle, headaches, like, oh my gosh, why are they doing this to us, to now 7 days a week, almost 24-hour care a day, right? So if I was able to figure it out, I know it's a different state, but we have several individuals on our team that know the system just like how I do, and we can work with you. So if you happen to know them, reach out to me.
All right. So let everybody know where they can connect with you, and also Here for a Reason on social media, and just give everybody the websites one more time.
Yes. So for our nonprofit Here for a Reason, you can find us at hereforareason.org. If you want to find me and look at my blog, it's twinmommel.com, and you can find all of our Instagram on those websites, Twin Mom Mel on Instagram and Facebook, and Here for a Reason Inc. on Instagram and Facebook.
All right. Well, thank you once again for coming and talking about Here for a Reason, telling your story of your awesome twins, Julius and Janelle, and I wish you the best with everything, and however we can support, we're here.
Absolutely. I do have one thing for you, AJ.
Oh.
I know, like you said, you be pulling cars. I was looking. I know how you do with these T-shirts, right? Because you always talking about every time I meet somebody, I'll have the shirt on next time. So if I'm on this show again, or if I ever see you again, you better be wearing this shirt.
I will be. Best believe. Thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
Who's this shirt for?
Huh?
This one.
What, this one?
Oh, this is.
Oh, look, I just had bought a shirt today. And
guess.
Thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's my shirt.
I mean, that's usually how it goes, but I didn't have that today. TT always messing with me. That's all right.
Oh, he gonna miss me.
I am. I really am.
College time.
Yeah. So thank you once again for coming through.
Thank you.
And
Thanks
telling
for having me.
Absolutely. You're welcome back. I tell everybody, open door policy. Come back anytime.
Absolutely.
Even if you just want to kick it, So we have our second guest in the building waiting. My main man, Pav P. Yeah. Yes. So, we're going to be talking to him shortly. We're going to go ahead and play a little bit of music, play some commercials, and we're going to get into that interview. This is our Fish Grease Pick of the Week. This is, I guess it's Kai Love, featuring Sunset Black and Young Coop with Rain. So, let's get into it, y'all.
Somebody tell you he hot, man. You heard my hat now, man. He fish grease. it's a crazy life we living in, man. So much struggle, so much pain, so much hatred in the world. Unless you live in that life, you'll never understand. I mean, I just don't know where people come from with it. Always want to point the finger the other way. Let he who has no sin cast the first stone, you hear me?
I was in the rain, tears on my face, tryna make it out, find a better way. Asking doubts, thought I wouldn't make it, but I'm here today, I'm still standing. I was in the rain, tears on my face, tryna make it out, find a better way. See them better days, to see them better days. We making a way to see better days.
I went through the rain, but only felt a drizzle. You couldn't feel my pain, not even just a little. Just wanna know, kid, take a walk up in my shoes. See all the things that I've been through, cause I've been banged and I've been bruised, Lord. They don't really understand my trials and tribulations, nah, man. If I do that crime, then I do that time. Never really been about that faking. How couldn't I spit, though? Look what my mama smoked. Daddy never been around, I guess that he had other goals. Too many times, no, I done had my heart broke. I guess that made me the villain. The two other girls that were ready and willing. I'm sorry. It was just sex, I got time for no feelings. So you say you love me, I'm not gonna believe it. But you say if you say that's an agreement. Cause I remember having to sleep up in the bando. Pockets hurting, and empty, thinking about a bankroll. And I can't go back to being broke. So if you thinking I'm a joke, then I'ma have to let that thing go.
I was in the rain, tears on my face, tryna make it out, find a better way. Asking doubts, thought I wouldn't make it, but I'm here today, I'm still standing. I was in the rain, tears on my face, tryna make it out, find a better way. See them better days, to see them better days. We making a way to see better days.
For the pressure in my pains, no, we are not the same. Been dealt my share of pain, I had in many different ways. Can't begin to fathom all the struggles that I overcame. I'm praying for a drought, cause I done seen so much rain. They say God on my side, never seen the sun shine. If that's the case, then why he let me fade for such a long time? Phone time, collect calls, nobody answer mine. You know how the saying go, how to sight, how to mind. For the pain in my chest, but I'm far from done yet. I'ma do it for my son, no, I won't quit. Bet you ain't never see me run, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm the only one left, living life with no regrets. Bow my head out of respect, and I still gotta say that I am blessed. I stand strong till I'm dead and gone, and I pray to God that I live long. Been doing it, cause I only got one life home. I stand strong till I'm dead and gone, and I pray to God that I live long. Flexing on them, I know they hating on me, homie.
I was in the rain, tears on my face, tryna make it out, find a better way. Asking doubts, thought I wouldn't make it, but I'm here today, I'm still standing. I was in the rain, tears on my face, tryna make it out, find a better way. See them better days, to see them better days. We making a way to see better days. See better days. See better days.
More topics, more segments, more music means more bars after this.
Win DC Radio brings to you the app. Yes, the app is now available on your Google Play and your App Store on your iPhone or your Android. Any of your pads that you might be using, be it if it's an iPad, iPad mini, or if you have a Samsung Note, doesn't matter what you have, any mobile device, you can get the app so you can listen where you're at to Win DC Radio.
Really wanna see is the I don't really need a D, I need the all a bag, need is a KC.
Hey, this is China Pink from the 2018 award-winning Best Radio Talk Show of the Year. Make sure you tune into the Ladies of the China Pink Talk Show each to Girls Gabbing Radio Show every Sunday from 7 to 8 p.m. on Win DC, powered by Go Win Media. Girls Gabbing wants to provide a platform for dreams, visions, and stories to thrive and grow. What's the Gab? Tune in on Sundays to find out.
Foreplay the Orgasm Show. I am your host, Hot Toddy, along with the Turn Up team, Miss Lolly and Showtime. Foreplay the Orgasm Show is each and every Tuesday night from 8 to 10, bringing you the sexy slow jams with very adult interactive conversation, only on Win DC Radio.
Man, look, y'all already know what time it is. It's your boy, Gerard Street Garvey, and my DJ, Kid Cannon. And when we together, you know what it is. Grind Season Radio, each and every Wednesday from 8 to 10 on Win DC Radio. Don't forget it. Yeah.
We hope you didn't go too far. It's time for the second hour of the Balancing Act Radio Show, hosted by AJ Throwback, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Hour number 2. Bars.
More topics, more segments, more music.
I don't know why it does that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hour number 2. Bars. AJ. TT.
How you doing? Litty McGritty in the city.
And our second guest for the day, this is my brother right here. When I say brother, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we not blood, but might as well be. You know what I'm saying? Award-winning MC.
Yeah.
Path P. Welcome.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, brother.
Yes, honor to have you here.
Want to get up here.
Yes,
I'm here now.
Yes. My man traveled all the way. Y'all in Jersey now, right?
Yeah.
Travel all the way from Jersey. This dedication, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Him and the lovely Mrs.
Yes, my queen in the back.
Appreciate y'all both coming down. You know what I'm saying?
Representing.
You know what I'm saying?
We had to.
Yeah. And I want to kind of start off because, you know, like, for those who don't know out there, you know, like where we met. Gotta shout out my main man, Kava King.
Yeah, Kava, shout out to Kava.
He's an alumni, Stadium
Yes.
Status 5, you know what I'm saying? You know, like that's where I met this brother right here.
For
and
sure.
you know, it was quite a bit of talent there, you know what I'm saying? My Zone was there. You know what I'm saying? My man Jazz, he was there. Robin Spree, Spectre. You know, like a lot of different talent. Esther Mogul, he was there. It was a lot of talent.
A lot of great talent.
A lot of talent.
Yeah,
I can't even like remember everybody that was there. But it was a lot of people there. But you were one of the standouts. I was like, I gotta get to know this brother right here.
For sure,
You know
bro.
what I'm saying? So
same here, man. I was just like, this brother's dope. Okay. And I appreciate the friendship and the brotherhood we've grown since then, man. Like, it's been real. So
absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So you know, I definitely wanted to start off with that. So one of the things that I wanted to, or one of the ways I wanted to start off was something that you posted recently on IG about your top 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know, among your top 10, in your top 5, you had Black Thought, Lupe, Tupac, Rakim, and Method Man.
Yeah.
So what is it about those artists for you that like stand out in terms of because I'm specifically thinking about something another artist I had on here before, Tim Hicks of Cornell West Theory. One of the things he was saying was how sometimes people, when they have influences, you don't hear it in their music,
right?
You know, so it's like how does that work?
Right,
you know,
right,
like
right.
you say Nas is your influence, but you know, I don't hear none of that in your music.
Right,
but
exactly,
like for you, like I can say like with your top 5, your top 10, and your full top 20, you know what I'm saying? I can see bits and pieces of each and every last one of those artists and what you do. So how do you feel like you embody what those influences, you know, like how do you feel like you embody that in your music?
I mean, for me, the reason their influences for me, it's just a well-rounded play of like not only just the messaging, but the storytelling.
Yeah.
Just the lyrical prowess, like very consistent.
Yeah.
Like I was saying to somebody the other day, like they brought up Method Man's new video he put out a couple months ago, and I was like, oh yeah, it's almost like sometimes. I'm just using him as an example. I feel like unless I see him, it's like, oh yeah, it's Method Man. You know what I mean? But then I'm reminded when I do see him, I'm like, yo, he's so consistent.
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't feel like I've ever heard a bad verse from Method Man. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, just consistent lyricism, flow, delivery, everything about each of those artists. Lupe definitely is one of my top, just because how he interweaves the storytelling and the metaphors and the wordplay. So when I rap, I try to. My whole thing for even doing music in the first place was like I wanted to be a curator of the music that I enjoyed, and also be a contributor to music in a way that's impacting storytelling and just really making a difference with my voice.
Yeah.
So when I look to them, I'm reminded of how I can effectively deliver my music, how I can effectively tell stories. So I try to do that as much as possible on my project, and I try not to waste lyrics.
Right.
I try not to I try to make sure every album is as potent as the last, every single is as potent as the last, and covers a spectrum of vibes and tones and stories that people can relate to.
Right.
Beyond just like the kind of I wanted to break. I felt like it was necessary to break a norm that we kind of see in the mainstream of a certain type of storytelling, you know what I mean?
Right,
and specifically to say the mainstream, you know, I'm not trying to Jermaine Dupri anything, specifically saying the mainstream of like, it's kind of like this contrived and compacted subject matter that's been pushed off, you know, like, you know, the drugs and the club and like all that type of stuff. But I know there's a lot of independent scene that's really dope. So for me, it was like everything I write is a conscious effort to tell a powerful story, an impacting story, and also a fun story.
Right.
You know, because people tend to look at conscious music like, oh, it can't be fun or whatever, it's boring. Like, nah, it could be fun.
Absolutely.
It could be dope. So I try to employ all of that within my storytelling. I feel like those have been MCs that have sonically and emotionally supported me in that process when listening to them. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And one of the things that you actually mentioned was sound. And what I've noticed about your sound specifically is, especially like in the beginning, I mean, it's still that way now, but especially like in the beginning, like your work when you were working with 3 on Life in the Realest Hue, and on Indigo, and it's just like sonically, and it's like that for every project that you put out. It doesn't sound like anything else out there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the things that I've appreciated about your sound and about your music since the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like you working with, whether you're working with 3, whether you're working with Myth Music, whether you're working with Old Boy Sosa, you know what I'm saying, on Revolution and Legacy Volume 1. You know, like it's different. It just stands out. You know, like when you're listening for music that you want to tell these stories to, like what are you like? Are you looking for anything in particular, or is it something that just jumps out to you?
It's like a mixed bag. Sometimes it's like for instance with 3, it was like he had a volume of just like really dope beats and dope soundscapes, and it just, for me, I just connected with the emotion that was coming out of those beats. Like what I heard, it was kind of like for instance, Life in the Realest Hue, I named it because it was a storied thing about my life, you know, but also when I mean like the realest hue was like for me, each beat had a certain color to it, and each emotion had a certain color to it. Like it's kind of just the thing I can't totally explain, but it felt like a certain color and like temperature and emotion to it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I don't know. I don't think you watch Empire, but it was
only the first season.
But it was an episode, I want to say, or a couple of episodes, not this past season, but I want to say the season before that, where Lucius was supposed to have this thing where he was able to see things in color. You know what I'm saying? Like see sounds in color. You know what I'm saying? I forget what the the terminology or what the condition is. Not condition, but like the ability is. It has a particular name to it.
Yeah, I've heard that recently.
Yeah. So like as soon as you said that, I was like, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah. It was a thing. It was like one song felt like orange, one song felt like blue, one song felt like red.
Right.
And along with that was like the typical emotions you may feel from that. Like red was like passion, or maybe it was anger, or blue was like sadness and things like that. You know what I mean? Like the title track, Life in the Real is Hue, was like the blue track for me. You know what I mean? So it really it's sometimes it's like if it's available and I feel something from it, then I want to write.
Right.
But a lot of times, just by virtue of everyday walking and paying attention and being observant to the world around me, like, you know, that informs me just writing.
Right.
And then like sometimes it'd be like finding a beat to go to it. So it kind of goes both ways. So it's a gentle but thoughtful process when it comes to putting things together with that in that way.
Right. So how would you say going from project to project, like what has been your thought process in terms of how you want to level up, especially as we approach the release of Revolution and Legacy Volume 2, which has been long awaited. Been waiting for this for a minute.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. So how do you feel like you've elevated yourself from project to project? Because I mean, we're talking about your first project was 12:49 a.m.
Yeah, that was the first mixtape.
That, you know, like how do you feel like you've grown from there to Life in the Realest Hue to Indigo to Revolution and Legacy Volume 1? Like each project, like kind of chronicle.
Yeah.
You know, what you feel like, okay, what you brought different to the table from project to project.
Right. For me, one of the base levels, like just even music wise, I felt like it just honing flow, holding the skill portion of it. Like over time, just doing enough projects and kind of getting comfortable with it and getting confident in my artistry and confident in what I was saying. Because even with something like with Life in the Realest Hue, you mentioned it earlier, it was like this thing you never haven't heard it before. So like even me and 3 and I were like, we go back and forth like yo, what are we gonna do with this project? I don't know what to compare it to. Like I'm like it was that fear was something that was like for a time very much real.
Right.
And it is in a sense like nervousness and things like that with new projects coming out. But over time, I felt like with each project it's just I'm in a new emotional space and a new feeling like how I want to be responsible with being better than my previous self. Because in Life, like for instance, Life in Realest Hue, 12:49 a.m., they have certain energies of a person that I don't even like. A person meaning myself that I don't even associate with anymore. You know what I mean? Just a different mind space, a different like what do you call it? Like emotional space, and for me, it's important for each project to reflect that. Not only the level of emotionally, you know, mentally, but just like artistically. You know what I mean? And I feel like I love so many like genres of music, and I want it to be like the next level is like how transitioning into a space where the catalog represents a gamut of like sounds, a gamut of vibes, a gamut of like different genres and things of that nature. So like I try to implement that bit by bit within each coming project, you know, to give the people a sense of like this is beyond just like hip hop. This is beyond just rapping. Path P is creating a lane for overall creativity, overall artistry, musicianship. So I look at every project in that way, and then it's like it's always very tactful in who I choose. Like I said, like working with the brother 3, and shout out to him. He's just a brilliant person, and like just the soundscape and kind of like the energy is like this universal vibe, you know, like the stuff that he creates is kind of like intergalactic and kind of like it's in this space.
That's the perfect word for it.
Yeah, right. You know, so it's in this space, especially with Indigo, it's like totally like, you know, which is another level of like thinking like this kind of this acceptance of like the idea of, you know, like Starseed, like Indigo Children, things of that nature. Like the idea of like being in a space to set forth a message for people on this plane that can hopefully help them elevate in a way, like paying the energy forward. So yeah, it's just. And with the upcoming Revolution Legacy Volume 2 is really in comparison to Volume 1, which is the Revolution, this one is the Legacy, is really like kind of a culmination of all things that's come up to now. Like all like vibes. Like there's the revolutionary talk and there's the legacy talk. How am I making an impact going forward through my music? So it runs a gamut. It's emotional, it's political, it's fun, it's loving, it's like all these pieces. So Revolution Legacy Volume 2 is poised to be a space for a well-rounded story of who Path P has been up to now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then whatever's next after that is just like the next after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Just talking about the Revolution and Legacy series, the things that of course I've heard the first one, and I got.
Yeah, you first to break it, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt, and and I've been able to hear the second one, in its entirety, and I think if I'm making an assessment of it or the difference between the two, I would say the first Revolution and Legacy was more about, like, the Revolution was more so about people, you know what I'm saying, like the broader scope, whereas the second part of it, there is a revolution still, and the revolution is you. You know what I'm saying? And being able to say to people, because there are a lot of moments where you get very personal. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really where the revolution is, in you being able to be personal. For sure. Because honestly, in our community, a lot of times we're afraid to be who we are. For sure. Like you had, like, I forget which song it was. I think it was In My Soul, where you was like, scared to get naked is. Exactly, like that one bar, that one little part right there. Yeah. I feel like that was a perfect summation of not only like your journey as a human, as a person, as a black man, as an artist, but I think it speaks to the struggle of a lot of people in our community, and talking about some of the things when it comes to music and what we hear in music in the mainstream. For sure. It's a lot of people out here who are scared to really show themselves who they are. I always think about something, and it always bothered me when I first heard him say it. I think it was either he read it or he said it in an interview, but it was 50 Cent. And he said something along the lines of, I don't show my emotions because that's, I don't want anybody to take advantage of that, or like it's a sign of weakness. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I always took issue with him saying that. Like, from the moment I heard him say that, I took issue with that, because it's like, dog, that's part of the thing with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? With music, period. Is that you want people to be able to connect with what you're saying. You want people to be able to relate to you. That social commentary, that ability to be vulnerable. I always think about one of my friends, and me and him used to go back and forth about it, because he would say, Jay-Z, when has Jay-Z been vulnerable? I was like, Meet the Parents. I could go song for song though, but his overarching point is that one of the reasons why he's like such a huge Nas fan was because he always, like, his favorite artists are people who are able to be vulnerable. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really appreciate about Volume 2, is that you have a lot of vulnerable moments on Volume 2. And I frankly feel like we need more of that in music, period. I'm not going to just say hip-hop, but in music today, period. Because a lot of it is people throwing up smoke screens. Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? People being guarded with their feelings. People saying, oh, I don't care, and, I don't, IDGAF and all this other stuff. It's like, come on, dog, you care. Yeah, because
that's why you posted it.
Exactly. That's why you said that.
Right.
Or people who say, I could care less, like, that means you care more.
Exactly. I could care less, but I actually care more than I'm putting on to people.
You know, but I would, all in all, I appreciate, like, the fact of you being brave, even braver on this album than even ever before, and you've always been a brave lyricist, a brave artist, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, we need more of you in the game.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, I feel like it was very important, because to counteract 50's point, like, to be vulnerable is probably the greatest superpower you can ever have. Absolutely. Especially not only as a man but as a black man, because when you're able to, given by and large, like, the human landscape is like looking at showing your emotion or showing you're showing deeper than your skin, like as a weakness or as a way of like you seeing my flaws. You know the best ways to get at me.
Right.
So I can't show my teeth. But actuality is like if you're brave enough and courageous enough to stand out there full and bare, then what can anyone tell you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you become master of your domain no matter where you step. You know, and there's nothing that can penetrate that because you've already gone deeper than anybody else has.
Yeah.
So as long as you're not willing to, there's always opportunity for you to for you in general like to falter to someone attacking you. Whether you do it up front or you do it alone, you're like, oh, you know, it's in your feelings about it.
Yeah.
But it's still attacking you. So to like the self-love and self-care would be to like feel your feelings without worrying about the judgment of it. You know what I mean? You know, like, look, I'm upset right now and that's just it. I'm sad right now and that's just it. I'm afraid right now, which is like one of the things people just can't find themselves to say unless it's like lighthearted.
Right.
Is I'm afraid right now, like legit afraid of whatever that is. So when we're able to get, especially as men, as black men, we're able to get to a place where we're beyond this social norm of like we have to be this strong pillar, we don't cry, we don't do this type of stuff, until we get to a space of we do all these things and then some, and we can be strong and we can be powerful and we can be all this physical and all that type of stuff, then we're not telling a well-rounded story of who we are. And that's what contributes to mental health issues and like emotional issues and emotional baggage and not being able to intimately connect not only with like partners or family, but the world at large, especially as an artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? You, like you said, you want to be able to connect and relate to the artist you're listening to.
Yeah.
So for me, like that's a major driving point. I want you to be able to connect with it because, like I said, for me, it's legacy, it's impact. What am I leaving behind even when I'm long gone?
Yeah.
It's always that memory of like how someone felt from that song at that moment, at that time. You know, so that's just always been important to me.
Yeah. So speaking of which, but before I ask that, TC, you got any questions? You good? I got. Going with the flow? Okay. All right. I got to check in with TT. You know what I'm saying? Make sure she ain't holding on to some heat over there. Oh boy. So speaking of, which, you know what? See, this is what I got to deal with right here. You know, I'm gonna miss her though.
College bound. Congrats.
That's right. So one of the songs that jumped out to me, which is actually, if I had to say, among favorite songs I have on Volume 2, is actually the first track.
Yeah.
Very first song.
Yeah.
And that is Lights On.
Lights On, yeah.
Yeah. So, for whatever reason, I think because, to me, that was the moment that I felt like you were the most, like, transparent. You know what I'm saying? Like emotionally, like you were the most real and the most raw. Specifically in the part where you're talking about your father.
Right.
And so I'm gonna read, of course, some of your bars, for the people. You know what I'm saying?
So I can get the clean edit to you.
It's all good. It's all good. I'll clean it up as I read it.
Right.
So, revelations of animosity toward my father, feeling he didn't bother, feeling I was the problem. Cause I'd only seen him twice, 3 times if you count pictures. Never a physical fixture. It effed me up because I never knew his birthday or how to properly spell his name. Every time I filled important documents, put knives to my esophagus, sharp pains in my brain, contemplating leaving the space blank since he did the same.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. I mean, one, abandonment. You know what I'm saying? In our community when it comes to fathers. I mean, it happens in a lot of communities. I'm not going to say I'm not going to just say our community, but for whatever reason, because there have been so many historical narratives kind of predating a lot of the things that we see today, that have kind of led up to that. What made you, for the beginning of the album, what made you want to like talk about that off the rip? You know, like why was that important for you?
I felt like when I first had the beat alone, I felt like this was a way to kind of just start any conversation, the way kind of like it flowed. But and also within that, and when I started writing and just bearing it all, I was like, this is a perfect way to set the tone for what the rest of the album is going to be. There's a little mixture of everything in it, but especially I don't like a lot of my music. For anyone that pays attention, is like I talk about my mother a lot because she was such an impacting force on me, on the the positive spectrum.
And that's what I was going to get to.
Yeah. Okay, well I'll let you get to that.
No.
But like,
no, you covered it.
Okay. But she was my everything. You know what I mean? I lost her in 2016. I mean 2006. So it's been a while, but like I never talked about my father, and for a long time there was great reason because I felt like a lot of times I felt numb to the idea of just like talking about like, hey, whatever, he wasn't there, so why should I bother like giving him any platform in anything? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then like even though like the line about the documents, I'm like, when it comes to like fill out their father's name and things like that, I was like, I don't know how to spell his last name because like he wasn't there. And the family didn't connect with us at all, other than his brother for like 2 seconds. He came by to tell us that he passed away. Oh, wow. And then that was like years after he passed away, so it's kind of like okay. And then that kind of faded after my mother passed, so I haven't caught up with any of that side of the family whatsoever. I don't even know who anyone is.
Wow.
So for me, it was very important for me to kind of get that out there, on the top of the album. If I'm talking legacy, like I come from somewhere, you know what I mean. And I don't just come from my mother. There is a part of me that exists. Like if you look at me, I am my father.
Right.
Same complexion, same like everything. Like I am him. You know what I mean? But I just felt like it was just really necessary to like get that out in the open, share how it's impacted me.
Yeah.
And in there is a want to have had him here. You know what I mean? And this part's where I've cried about it. This part's where I faced it and like cried about it.
Yeah.
In my recent adult years. And I felt like that release and was important. So in order for me to fully release what I felt about him, it was like, let me just release it on a song. You know what I mean? And then kind of leave it at that. I mean, if another song comes up in the future, sure. But if this is the only song, then yeah, I mean, if this is the only song, then that's it. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I can leave it at that's it. It's like sunshiny things. Like no, like that's just how I've been feeling.
Yeah.
You know. So, but I felt like it was important to like set the vulnerability tone off the top with that piece. So.
Yeah, and what I like about how you approached it, because you hear it a lot in hip hop songs when people deal with abandonment issues with their fathers, like it's really angry.
Yeah.
Whereas with you, it really sounded like part frustration, but mainly like I'm at peace about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm not, even though it bothered me, and I'm sure part of it still bothers you to a degree.
Yeah.
It was more one of those things like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Yeah. But I really like the fact that's the reason, or I respect even more, that's the reason why you started off the way that you started off, because when you talk about lights on and then you get all the way to the end to forever, it's a totally it's like I'm going to do better than one part of my legacy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to, take it another level, because your mother, she sowed so much into you, so much positivity, so much light, so much greatness into you. You know what I'm saying? That the part that wasn't really a part of who you are, or as much of a part of who you are as he should have been, you're taking what you did get and you're taking it to another level.
Right.
And that's why I believe, just like from beginning to end, like it's just a really solid album.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
For
So
sure.
some of the features that you have on the album, talk about the people that's on it, people you got producing on it,
for sure,
and everything.
For sure, yeah. So Revolution Legacy Volume 2 is a front to back original production piece by Myth Music. Shout out to my brother Myth Music. My man RKM, he engineered and supported it, as well as King James. So shout out to them, definitely. And yeah, it was just like the soundscape of how Myth creates and composes. It's very much just there's a story nature in how each beat kind of progresses. And instrumentation is not just like a loop per se. It's just like there's just always been something different that I've appreciated about Myth's music. Myth music. And we've been working together for a long time. Like, this is our first official project. Like, Myth was on. I've had projects with songs with Myth on my first mixtape.
Right, I remember
in
that.
2012. You know what I mean? So we've come. I feel like it's kind of like a full circle moment of coming to. This is the project that has been laying in the wait since 2012. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was a proud moment to work with him on this project finally and take time and care in writing for it. So I appreciate what he's provided to us. So shout out to him. And I got some dope features. One of which is my man here, Mr. AJ Throwback. And we delivered a killer verse, by the way, brother. I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
Taboo TMF. Shouts out to my brother Taboo, who I've been rocking with the same. He supported me in my very first song, so and engineering that. So shout out to him. We got Rainstorm out of Harlem. We got Janae out of Brooklyn. Shouts out to AB Brooklyn. Shout out to all where the people at. Of course, my sister Merce, the big body Benz out of Queens, repping it. The goddess, she's doing her thing, lyrically killer. My boy J. Oates out of Queens, and of course the growing legend Mickey Fax. He blessed the track. And my brother Rob. Rise on Belief, who was on your show, a brother of sound, so shouts out to the brother Rob, Rise on Belief, and Nefertiti Gold, who provided some crooning sounds on there. So on one of my favorite tracks and probably one of my most personal tracks outside of Lights On.
That's actually another one of my favorite songs too. Like I love what you're saying, and I love misproduction on that song. It's like mystical.
Like that track, man. I was like, I'm gonna hold this beat, man. Because I need to write something important to this. I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but it's coming, and now was the time, and it was But those are did I get everybody? Naeem, Bricks. My brother vibes. Bricks, vibes. Bringing the vibes.
Man, that joint right there, that hook on that song, man. That joint is catchy.
That's
catchy. Love that joint.
That's what I'm saying. It gets to be fun. You get to have some fun in it. You know what I mean? So he did his thing on that, and just it's just some great artists that just blessed this album, man. I'm truly humble, truly grateful to be able to know and work with all of you, to really create one of my most solid pieces that I felt I've created in a long time. So it's 15 tracks, one interlude, 14 tracks technically. But it's a really just a storied piece. It is literally the legacy from everybody's. It drops August 20th, 2019. Anniversary style for liberation, 400 years. This was the reason why I wanted to drop something powerful for this year. So maybe that's why it took us long. Because this was supposed to come out. My plan was 6 months after Volume 1, which is 2017. I mean, everything happens as it should. So I'm blessed that it's coming out in the now. It's a part of an incredible year so far. So for sure.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. It's a really good album. I can't wait to see how the people respond to it.
I can't wait too. I'm excited, man.
Absolutely. So one last thing that I wanted to make sure I highlight: sound bites.
Yes.
Sound Bites International.
Sound Bites International.
With the missus.
Yes. Over there. Yeah.
So talk about why did y'all feel like it was necessary for y'all to, because on top of everything that you both have going on, why did y'all feel like it was necessary to have a platform such as Sound Bites, and the importance of having more platforms that are geared toward positivity and people coming into their best selves, coming to be their best selves.
Absolutely. I mean, these are the conversations we have. And thank you for supporting Soundbites as you have, brother. I appreciate it. But the conversations that we have on Soundbites is really conversations we tend to have around the house all the time. It is from an understanding that not everybody's having the same type of conversations or maybe in the same level or the same people. So we wanted to fill in those spaces and use platforms as they are, like, you know, have a podcast or have a you know, YouTube channel, what have you, and use the platforms as they are to bring these conversations to the forefront of the public, and see who else is willing to be in the conversation, willing to be in the awareness of it, willing to understand and be clear that there's something going on in our human condition that gets to be rectified. But it really does start with the conversation. You have there gets to be a foundation of looking at the Black community, looking at, you know, the human landscape in general, looking at the healing that we get to, you know, do based on a lot of the epigenetic traumas that we faced over our time here, especially as Black Americans.
Right.
And you know, U.S. history. So we wanted to bring that to the forefront and just put it out there. And sound bites was a way, like, you know, like looking at the different pieces within sound bites. That's why, you know, we call it that. Bits and pieces to bring the conversation to the forefront, and have either, you know, there's going to be people that may be ruffled. There's going to be people that are enlightened. There's going to be people that, you know, want to hear more, or whatever the case may be. But we choose to be an open space for all of that.
Right.
You know, because until we have a space to talk about it, who's going to talk about it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are people that do, but we be remiss to not be contributors to the space to have it be a widespread conversation. You know, so it was important for us to do this platform and talk about the things that we talk about, and just get to a healing space. You know, because if nobody else, if it starts with us, then we were happy.
Yeah.
You know, because hopefully it could trickle down somewhere and like affect the next generation.
Yeah, because I mean, really, when it comes to platforms like Sound Bites, and just spreading, you know, the right information, positive information, that's the beauty of it. It's like all it has to do is affect one person.
Yeah, exactly.
And it becomes a trickle down effect, because
sure.
that one person goes and tells somebody else, and they tell somebody else, and then it just starts to magnify from there.
Right.
You know, and that's really the importance of, you know, platforms like yours.
For sure.
And you know, that's the thing that I appreciate, because it's been many a times that I've listened and I'm like, man, I didn't even think of that like that. Yeah. maybe I should change, you know, the way that I'm thinking, you know, when it comes to something, you know, whatever it might be. And and I've had several moments like that. It's been enlightening for me. And so that's why I definitely wanted to make sure that I shouted y'all out on that.
No, thank you.
Because I mean, it's an amazing platform. I mean, and it's an extension of who you both are. You know what I'm saying? As human beings, and as people who are fighting for our community. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah,
it's gotta have it. You gotta do it, man.
Absolutely. So let everybody know where they can follow you on social media, and where they can find your music, and where they can pre-order.
Yes.
Pre-order Volume 2.
Yes. So I try to make it simple for everybody. So Path P Music, that's PATHP Music. .com is the website. All social media is Path P Music. I try to, you know, keep it real simple across the board, including YouTube. Subscribe there. You can actually go to my website, pathpmusic.com, and pre-order. There is a link there. So you can pre-order on your favorite streaming service, whether it's Apple Music. You can save it on Spotify, Amazon. It's available on those particular platforms, and, you know, the album drops August 20th. But pre-order that now. I'm trying to get, you know, 500 strong deep out there by the pre-order time. So if you pre-order, I want to give the first 500 strong people some gifts as my way of saying thank you for pre-ordering by August 20th. And the way to do that is pre-order the album, screenshot your pre-order, and either tag Path P Music or DM Path P Music, any of the platforms, so I can, you know, catalog it. And then after the album drops, I want to get those gifts to you. Talking about posters, you know, merch, some different things that I'm working on. Then, you know, thank you, credit liner notes, everything. I want to get the people involved, and I want to say thank you for being of great support. It really matters. So yeah, pre-order that. Revolution Legacy Volume 2, The Legacy, available August 20th.
Yes, indeed. I got my pre-order already.
Get
on that. Get on it. So what's that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So, before we get into one of the songs, got some bars?
I think I got some bars.
Think you got some bars?
For you. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Let's get into it then.
Okay.
It does that.
Oh.
It'll come in.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay. Is there? Okay. Alright. Yeah. Spit exquisite flows as symbolic as the floor of the lease. I welcome you to the mind of the son of Lenore Denise. Always been a humble child, but when on the beat, I'm a beast. Ain't here for the gimmicks or tricks. So to the streets, I'm a treat. I don't just pray for the weak, I give him a voice to speak. It's God's work in the flesh, I'm blessed beyond belief. So the whole intention is to reshape the attention of this dimension. Resurrect the connection and progression and miss dissension. That's revolution and legacy, reinforcing my pedigree. Ancestors get to talking, my walking defy all enemies. Divine words in my heart, no weapon form shall thrive. A warrior from the light, faith out our sight. I'm Eli, giving it all I got. First eyesight's on the plot. They continue to shift the narrative to glorify all the thoughts in the blocks and victimization of cops when an unarmed brother is shot or choked out. It's no doubt they trying to eradicate us from breathing. Child never knows their father, they lose him before they teething. It leaves me seething. So elements of my makeup tend to leave me believing. My focus in my art leave me what the people believe in. Focus is razor sharp. I deflect bull like a matador. Underlay on these rats. I'm the cat the freedom is asking for. Lying out the den, don't get no better than him. I get all up on the mic and I roll with the best of them. Guess I'm a king to men. Stand prolific as an obelisk. To the wicked, I'm ominous, dominant over all I can get. And I'm riding with my queen. She's a prophetess. She's foreseen manifestation. The dreams were pristine opulence. I was down bad. Her spirit got me on top of this. Love will make you feel wealthy even when you ain't got a pot to piss. Hey Jay, I told you 2019 was our year. In 2020 the vision I see is ever so clear. So make no mistake, it's the purpose of me being here. I battle to understand and unearth my worth in the face of fears. Full steam ahead like I'm powered up by the sitter rack. Unstoppable to the top, my dude, and ain't no looking back.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah. Live and direct.
Yeah. So
bars.
I do what I can. I do what I can for this world.
Yeah. Man, I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That you know, anytime we get some, dope bars live, that just blesses my spirit. So appreciate that, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I am going to let you do the honors and introduce one of your tracks.
Okay.
From Revolution and Legacy. Volume 2.
Okay. Which one we got? I can pick anyone? Is it? Oh, okay. I'm all up in the mix. Yes! Also, I appreciate it, by the way, because you're actually the first radio show that actually had me actually rap, so.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah. Only radio show they'll be talking stuff. But shouts to them. Anyway, so this track right here, featuring the man of the hour, aside from me, of course, for this moment, is AJ Throwback, Taboo TMF. This is called Forever, aka Legacy for a reason. Let's get into that off Revolution Legacy Volume 2, The Legacy.
All right. On the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond.
Yes.
And of course, I got to throw this drop on it too, as well.
We're proud to get this song to the people first.
Exclusive.
This is a Bars exclusive.
It's on my life, Slim. Yeah. Passion, purpose, persevere past pain. Movement is your fate, said the letters of my last name. Real love, family, freedom and supportiveness. Deep within the Venice where my lasting fame and fortune is. Mornings when I'm hoarding minutes under covers. 2 reasons liberate me well before the struggle smothers. The motto follower of life's a game of inches, and my lines are made of strength, and I ain't punting, hit the mud and run it. Whether it's sowing knowledge in a hot and glowing climate. Oh, the honest king who owns the throne but only owns it honest. Oh, I am born my queen of pro work, behold a dream. Using her anointed hands to leave our folks with no disease. I'm known to see now my people have been oppressed, so I seek to own the deeds and the means to speak and express. For the winds of melanin in the village, pro in the grind, cause that dash after 79's more than the line, it's on time.
I've been grinding for too long and I ain't slowing. Pressure's on, feeling too strong and I ain't folding. So if I die today, my legacy lives on forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever. I've been grinding for too long and I ain't slowing. Pressure's on, feeling too strong and I ain't folding. So if I die today, my legacy lives on forever, forever, ever, forever, ever.
Legacy, fantasy, reality, illusions, family, dynasty, can't you see collusions? Royalty, empires, there is no confusion. Crystal clear visions, they're clearer convolutions. Eating good, living well, sipping fine wines. A-list artists, enjoy the sunshine. Education, teach the youth in school and the streets. Dropping jewels embedded forever in these beats. Pick it up, big it up, we not accept defeat. Got them ting that, I know reality. Firm and we wise, tried on a higher street. Pathways unfold, we living life sweet. On all these tracks, films and photos I be forever right here for my friends and family. Doing right now, cause there is no later. Being great now, cause there is no greater. Forever.
I've been grinding for too long and I ain't slowing. Pressure's on, feeling too strong and I ain't folding. So if I die today, my legacy lives on forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. I've been grinding for too long and I ain't slowing. Pressure's on, feeling too strong and I ain't folding. So if I die today, my legacy lives on forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. I ain't need mission to solar visions. History's records would be remiss and I mention my mission. Misdirection and misconceptions don't lessen my step, and I am contesting the definition of perfection with every inflection. Words are a deadly weapon to poor intentions. When I write in my plight, I pray that you're paying attention. Suffice it to say, I may just get carried away with a display of a narrative greater than a David to Goliath triumph. Hallelujah! The return of the prodigal son. Methodical in my moves, mindset from an urban jungle. And a creative hand is heaven sent. Out of this world, purpose ignited to get the people united. Fought through the haters, the self-doubt and the dead weight. Now legendary is the only known landscape. I'm grand slamming when I step up to the plate. Ride with a chip or get the out my way. I've been grinding for too long and I ain't slowing. Pressure's on, feeling too strong and I ain't folding. So if I die today, my legacy lives on forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. I've been grinding for too long and I ain't slowing. Pressure's on, feeling too strong and I ain't folding. So if I die today, my legacy lives on forever, forever, ever, forever, ever.
Looking for the most balanced review of your forthcoming or current album or mixtape? Then email a formal inquiry along with your cover art, headshot, bio, and either links to your music or the project files to balancingactradioshow@gmail.com. That's balancingactradioshow@gmail.com.
Soul is plentiful. Can't ever knock me off my pedestal. I put the pedal to the metal, fool, just to break the cycles detrimental to my better views. I'm talking elevation, higher, higher till I'm deaf in constellation. Frequent flyer along Milky Ways, cosmic rays till I'm fantastic. Crafting classic, leaving you breathless as an asthmatic. Yeah, it's hard work for your mind, home. It's hard work to be divine alone. God's work can be defined by thrones. My genes a commodity, I modestly deny the clone. Anywhere I touch souls, where I find my home. Not a rolling stone, I just know my zone. Cheesing for the bigger picture on my provolone. Marching to the beat, reverberating in me corazón. Yeah, we
It's time to get back to AJ Throwback and Bars, only on WinDCRadio.com and the WinDC Radio app, powered by GoWin.media.
Yeah. That was the man, Pat P.
Yes, sir.
No weapon.
No weapon forms.
I love that joint. That's actually one of my favorites too.
Yeah,
There's so many favorites on the album, but like for whatever reason, I like the combination of like the rap and the singing on that one.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
like you sound good on that one.
Thank you.
Not to say, not to
right.
say,
I get it.
Yeah, but I really like how you delivered that one.
Thank you, brother.
And then the production on that one. Yeah, that was solid.
Yeah,
that was solid.
That was another one. I was like, hold on, Myth. I need to do something to this. This is rock. We rock out. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So before we close out, definitely got to make sure we shout out the Leos out there. It's their season. You know what I'm saying? They got to roar, let people know it's their season. But I can't mess with the Leos. My son is a Leo, so you know what I'm saying. So shout out my main man Tone Butter, celebrating.
Tone Butter.
You gotta say it like that, Tone Butter. Him also Kathleen Christie, appreciate you, and Lisa Monroe, all celebrating birthdays today. So happy birthday to all of y'all. Carlene, my big sis, and Trina Stewart, both of the Mary Barry's Youth Leadership Institute. Shout out MBYLI. Celebrating birthdays tomorrow. Dimensions, who we had on the show, I want to say it was June 5th, I think it was. Princess of Controversy, Sweet Niche. Shout out Sweet Niche. My cousin Charlene, my cousin Craig, and Kimmy, all celebrating birthdays on Friday the 9th. Enoch 7 Prophet, shout out Enoch. My grandmother, Nadia, Athena, Therese, all celebrating birthdays on Saturday. Hopefully Therese will see you at the b-ball tournament. You know what I'm saying? Clutch the Rapper he will be playing in that b-ball tournament. I'll be announcing that shortly. Virginia, Gerard, Shannon celebrating birthdays on Sunday. My man Quentin, Mitch Creedle, D. Marie, Deuce, Hakeem, and Demetria, all celebrating birthdays on the 12th. So shout out all of the birthday folks coming up, all of the Leos out there. Y'all season still rolling along, but then after that,
it's time, baby. Virgo season's coming up on you. Be prepared.
Yes.
We lay in wait.
But then after that,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I got too many Libras in my life.
Libra see, we waiting patiently. Libras, we waiting real patient. But it's all good. Leos, had their time. Virgos, I know too many Virgos, so I understand.
Yeah.
A lot of Virgos,
yeah.
But always love to the Virgos.
For sure.
Always love to the Leos too. So, love to everybody.
Yeah. Gotta love everybody, man.
Absolutely. So, one of the announcements that we got.
Yeah.
Yes. You want me to do mine first, or you ready?
Oh, crap. Okay. So, my Uncle Don, he having a school supplies drive here at Iverson Mall actually today.
Awesome.
7 o'clock p.m. through 9 o'clock p.m. All donations will be distributed during the back to school block party.
Okay. Boom. So you heard it right here. Right here, the shops at Iverson.
So my Uncle Don doing that.
Yes.
Y'all gonna know it's him with that bright orange Charger.
Shout out Uncle Don with the bright orange Charger. Doing the school drive. So make sure y'all, make sure y'all are here. Also, this Saturday, and this is an event that I will be actually DJing at. Nice. The Goodman League, Hip Hop Against Violence, will be having their first annual Stop the Violence basketball tournament Saturday from 4 to 8. Barry Farms Dwellings basketball courts right at 1230 Sumner Road Southeast. Featuring the DMV Go-Go team versus the DMV Hip Hop team. Spaces still available for vendors seeking sponsorship for water, Gatorade banners, flyers, uniforms, or team shirts. And any and all donations are appreciated. Also, they might be still looking for more players, but maybe not at this point. But for more info, please contact our very own Pandora Love at 301-793-4496. Once again, that's 301-793-4496. Pandora, if you're watching, I talked to Clutch. He's still playing. He got a different number, so we're gonna be getting together afterwards. But yeah, we're going to close out with some words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom to get you through the rest of your week. Yeah. These are the bars for life.
Y'all know TT has taken over this duty since she's been here, you know what I'm saying? Because she always got the bars.
Bars on bars on bars.
Okay, so the closing of the week. Being patient to what awaits you in time will come from hard work, but stay focused on what you're striving for through pain and tears, but at the end you'll arrive of tunnel vision.
That's a word for me.
That's
a word for me right there. Yeah, TT. See, TT.
Listen,
right in the wisdom.
That's been the career, man.
Yes, right.
That's been the career.
You know that's what. You know that's the first thing I was thinking about.
Yeah, man.
Man, yeah. So appreciate you, TT, for that. Once again, I gotta make sure I shout out our special guest for the day, Miss Melanie Oates of Here for a Reason, Inc. Make sure y'all support hereforareason.org and her blog twinmommel.com. And shout out once again my brother, fellow brother of sound, Pat P.
Yes, sir.
And Mrs. Neferra, she's not on the camera, you know what I'm saying? She's staying low, but she's here.
Low key,
you know what I'm saying? Her energy and her presence is definitely in the room. You know what I'm saying? High vibrations, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all both for making that trip.
Of course, had to, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
It's been an honor. Like I said, I definitely want to come back out.
Hey,
you know,
we
got one more brother coming up. So
right, that's right in November. That's right.
Come and hang out.
That's right. Hey, come on down, man.
Bless.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and close out today's show with an artist that you and I both actually met at the Raw at the Raw show.
Amani?
Yeah. Right.
That's right. Man, Amani Philly.
Yes. Shout out to Amani Philly. Haven't played his music in a while, but I had to make sure I shout out that brother. You know, strong support of the show. This is off of his Forever Golden album.
Nice.
Hold Me Down. And make sure y'all stay tuned next week. We have filmmaker Delonte Sealy, and also Young Gifted from PGMG, representing OTG. He gonna be, I hope he brings some people with him to talk about this cookout that he's got next Saturday, the 17th. Big cookout that they do every single year for the community. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all tune in for that. Delonte will be on at 11:15. Young Gifted on at noon. And yeah, make sure y'all stay tuned. DMV Culture Club, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on WinDCRadio.com, along with Grind Season Radio, 8 to 10 p.m. right here on WinDCRadio.com, the WinDC Radio app, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and of course, it's all powered by GoWin.media. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. Hopefully we see you at the basketball tournament this Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time. See some good games. And y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week, and we'll see y'all next week for the official Hump Day Motivation for the DMV and beyond. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Bars.
Yes, sir.
Since you came into my life, I never knew that I would feel so alive with you. My best friend, my lover, you always hold me down. The same one that I didn't think would come around. You are so beautiful. I asked for a blessing, and he sent me an angel. Special from all angles. I hold my eyes speak 1,000 words, 'cause I'm speechless when I see you. 'Cause your love pulls me down. I don't wanna just be around, wanna stick around. My best friend, my lover, you always hold me down. The same one that you didn't think would come around.
cry on me. I wanna see your tears. You don't have to be scared of me. I just wanna give you everything, even a wedding ring. You're so precious to me. Clouds may fall, storms may start, wars may begin. No storm can keep you away. Still be right here. I have to believe it. Yeah, I have to receive it. 'Cause you hold me down. 'Cause your love holds me down. I don't wanna just be around, wanna stick around. Best from a lover, and I hold you down. The same one that I didn't think would come around. 'Cause your love holds me down. Ooh, yeah, 'cause your love holds me down. Oh,
Bars, 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 bars.
that's it.
I did it. Mommy did it?
Yes.
Oh. You want to do bars, bars?